Hi, this is Scott Garibay, and today we're going to talk about Odin and Dungeons and Dragons and Odin's ravens. His left shoulder raven Huginn, and his right shouldered raven Muninn. And we're going to talk about that. All right. So I'm gonna tell you about a transformation that happens when you reach the Dungeon Master seat, but I do need to talk about something first. So I'm very aware. A lot of people are getting upset about my channel, and they're like, "Hey," and I get it. I'm saying, I say in virtually every video, in my humble opinion, Dungeons and Dragons is not a game, and everything that I say is connected to that. I have this belief that no one else shares, and it's upsetting to people. There are people who are very upset. They roll up on this channel, and they're very, very upset because everything I'm saying is, once you believe what I believe, nothing that comes out of my mouth is really acceptable to the muggles of the D&D, to the people who think that, oh, this is just, this is just me chopping a goblin in half, nothing else is happening here. It's just, that's the way it is, right? And so I do want to say this. And then I'm getting a lot of pushback on a lot of channels, right? And terrible things are said about me on routinely, right? Like, and it's hard to hear them, right? I get upset. Yeah, I'm a human being. I have feelings just like you. Why do I not stop? Because I am the Nicholas Copernicus of Dungeons and Dragons, in my humble opinion. Nicholas Copernicus had the same thing. They're like, what are you saying now, Nicholas? You saying that the Earth orbits the sun? No one believes that. No one. What are you talking about? Every scientist in this room says you're wrong, right? And I'm the Nicholas Copernicus. I'm telling you, man. I'm very convinced that there's going to be a conga line of people over the future. I think it's already started. I think the first person to realize this, other than me, is Joe Manganiello, and I think he gave a clue to that when he said he was having elevated conversations with people who have transformed their lives with Dungeons and Dragons and the cultures they live in. That has nothing to do with using Dungeons and Dragons as a game to gut goblins in half. That is a profound statement, right? And so I'm not saying that Joe Manganiello signs on to everything I'm saying. I'm saying that guy sees what I'm seeing, right? That there's something way more than a game here. And I do think for Joe Manganiello, I don't think Dungeons and Dragons is a game to him. Like, that dude's got $100,000 room in the bottom of his house, devoted to this, right? Like, and so I don't think I'm the only one here. I think there's going to be a conga line of people who are like, oh, hey, yeah, hey, everybody, yes, the Earth does circle the sun. The sun does not circle the Earth, right? That's where in my humble opinion, I think a lot of people are going to come to realize what I realize. And so that's why I keep staying here and saying what I do. With that, let's talk about Odin and Dungeons and Dragons and Dungeon Masters. When you became a Dungeon Master, you might not know this, I'm going to inform you today. When you became a Dungeon Master, the first time you really ran as a Dungeon Master, that's not the first time you opened the red box, that's not the first time you ran. That's a moment in time, right? Where you transformed that table into a different world. That's when you become a Dungeon Master. When the people who are sitting at that table forget they are on Earth and remember they are on the Forgotten Realms, and that that every true Dungeons and Dragons participant has never forgotten the realms. That's when you became a real Dungeon Master. And when you did, you were transformed into Odin, and you were given two ravens, a left-shouldered raven and a right-shouldered raven, Huginn and Muninn. It transformed you forever. You will never be the same, right? Everybody else around you, normal human being. You, Odin, right? Let's talk about Odin and why it matters that you are Odin, right? Here we go. All right. So why are you Odin? Because you have Huginn and Muninn. Because the moment you were transformed, in that moment of transformation, when you became a real Dungeon Master, you got the right-shouldered Huginn, you got the left-shouldered Huginn, and you got the right-shouldered Muninn. And these were ravens that flew to the different worlds you lived on. Huginn flies to Jord, Earth, okay? And it brings information back to you from Earth, right? You don't really get your information from your eyes anymore. You get your information, you don't get it from your sensations anymore. You get it from the raven on your shoulder as a dungeon master. You get your information about Earth is no longer what other people experience. You don't experience Earth as, oh, this is the world I live in, and I need to process information so that I can function in this world. You don't. You get information about Earth saying, okay, I see everything around me. I know I need milk. But how do they get milk in Neverwinter? Is it the same as how they get milk in Waterdeep? And as your eyes are, and your eyes don't see anything anymore. It's just your left-shouldered Huginn. It is the processing of Jord, Earth, that you get from Dungeons and Dragons. And the moment you became a real dungeon master, you would never see Jord the same. You would never see it through your own eyes. You would always see it through the information given to you by Huginn on your left shoulder. And then you also get information from Huginn about Forgotten Realms. You are crafting the Forgotten Realms for your players, for your dungeon performers. But you see Forgotten Realms, right? And you see the sun, the sunbeams reflecting off the waters as your non-player character looks out on the harbor of Waterdeep. And as you see that beauty, you will always see the beauty of the sunrise coming up on Waterdeep. And you will always compare every sunrise you see on Jord, every sunrise you are told about on Jord from Huginn. And Huginn is saying, hey, you've seen Waterdeep. Everything you see in the real world is it better or worse? It's always in comparison. And you will learn things from Forgotten Realms, and your courage, your sagacity, your relevance is increased by what you know from Huginn on your right shoulder, who brings you data and brings you information as the Odin of your locale. You are the Odin where you live. No one processes information like you. No one sees the world the way you see it. You are second path humanity. You are no longer first path humanity. You are Odin. You do not see with your eyes. You get information from Huginn about Jord, Earth. You get information from Huginn about Forgotten Realms. And you are beyond. You are D&D beyond. You are beyond what you used to be, in my humble opinion. Every single word you just heard is my humble opinion. What's important is when I get to hear your humble opinion, when you get in the comments and send your traffic. Please consider liking, subscribing, and have a fetch millennium.